Hi friends, welcome to Sabbath School Daily, where we have been studying from this lesson right here, 3 Cosmic Messages. This week we have been studying from lesson number 7, which has the title, Worshiping the Creator. And today we're studying from Thursday's lesson, which has the title, The Creator on the Cross. Now, today's lesson really has to do with something that I mentioned in the previous 2 days. Actually, had I known that today was going to be about this, I really wouldn't have brought it up on the other lessons. But it's the combination of God as our creator and God as our redeemer. Again, where you find the Decalogue in the Bible, in the Old Testament, Exodus chapter 20 and Deuteronomy chapter 5, you find this emphasis on God as our creator and God as our redeemer. God as our maker and God as our deliverer. When you study theology, there are 3 great mysteries. Of course, there are many mysteries in the Bible. There are many things that we don't know and that we study and we want to know more. But there are 3 classic mysteries in theology. And these are the mystery of the incarnation, the mystery of iniquity, and the mystery of piety. And so the mystery of iniquity is basically how did sin arise in heaven in the heart of Lucifer? It's a mystery. Right? In heaven, there's no real explanation. We don't know. We simply don't know. In an environment where there was no inclination, there was no temptation, there was nothing there as it is here on earth, there was no one tempting Lucifer. Now, of course, there's an explanation. There's a way to understand this, but it's beyond us. We'll have to get to heaven to figure this out. So it's a mystery, and you could talk a long time about this. Don't deceive yourself into thinking that this was some small thing, that it was a simple thing that happened. This was a terrible event, and we know that at the foundation of it is free will, but how it happened, mystery. Another mystery is the mystery of the incarnation. How did God, being who he is, being how big he is, being the upholder, the maker of the cosmos, how did God become a little baby in the manger? Now, someone want to, explain this and say, and I know that a lot of my children at church, the kids at church, they say, "Oh, Pastor, this isn't something complicated. This is very easy because God can do everything, right? God is omnipotent." But friends, we deceive ourselves when we think that this was some small thing. Here we have the creator of the universe. We have the ultimate power, the ultimate force of nature, the ultimate law of nature becoming a human, becoming a baby. That is mind-boggling. And I believe that we will spend eternity trying to understand what that was all about, what happened there. We have the basics. God loved us, and so he gave his son, but that is an altogether deep, universal mystery, and we will spend countless eras and ages learning more about what was involved in the incarnation. The last mystery of these 3 classic mysteries of theology is the mystery of piety. And the mystery of piety is really what this lesson is about, which is, why does God love us? Why is his love so great? Friends, we sometimes we take it for granted. There are really no words to describe this. Why does God love us so much? He is so big, so great, so grand. He is simply above and beyond everything, anything that we can understand, anything that we can know. And we are so small. We are cosmic dust. Why does God love us? On the cross, when we contemplate what was happening on the cross, we are in the face, we are before a mystery. On the cross, God slain by human hands. There's this one quote in the book, The Great Controversy, that I find incredible. That's, again, indescribable. That's part of the difficulty of dealing with this subject is I don't even feel worthy to try to describe, to explain what we're talking about here. The human vocabulary, the human mind simply, it can't comprehend everything that was involved on Calvary. But this one text coming from the book, The Great Controversy, page 22, it says this: "The majesty of heaven in tears." It's describing Jesus in the Gethsemane, and then on the cross, it's describing the process, and it says, "The majesty of heaven in tears. The Son of the infinite God, troubled in spirit, bowed down with anguish." Again, this is at the Gethsemane. "The scene filled all heaven with wonder. Imagine what this must have been to the unfallen worlds and to the angels up in heaven who knew Jesus as Michael, as the archangel of power, as their general, their great captain. Imagine them now seeing him here in this situation, in this moment. The scene filled all heaven with wonder. That scene reveals to us the exceeding sinfulness of sin. It shows how hard a task it is, even for infinite power, to save the guilty from the consequences of transgressing the law of God. Jesus, looking down to the last generation, saw the world involved in a deception similar to that which caused the destruction of Jerusalem. The great sin of the Jews was their rejection of Christ. The great sin of the Christian world would be their rejection of the law of God, the foundation of his government in heaven and earth. The precepts of Jehovah would be despised and set at naught. Millions in bondage to sin, slaves of Satan, doomed to suffer the second death, would refuse to listen to the words of truth in their day of visitation. Terrible blindness, strange infatuation. The description could not be more vivid. On the cross, Jesus was giving himself as a substitute for those who would accept him. For those who do not, this is the vivid description of what happens. Such a strange deception and infatuation it is when people deny Jesus, deny him as their substitute, as their Lord, and as their Redeemer, the one who came to provide a way out and escape from this terrible situation that humanity finds itself on. Perhaps the most vivid presentation of this truth, revelation of this truth, is seen on Calvary, where Jesus Christ, the Creator, the Word from heaven, he hung on that cross. But the hope, friends, is that one day very soon we will all be in a much better place, in a place where there will be no more sin or sorrow or pain or tears or famine or pestilence or depression or unemployment. These things will be a thing of the past. And the only sigils or symbols or reminders that sin once ever existed will be the hands and the feet of Jesus with the marks of the nails of the cross. That will remind us forever two things: how great God is and how terrible sin is. How terrible sin is and how great and loving God is. I hope that this lesson encourages you. I know that it was a beautiful study. It's been a beautiful study. Please remember to look up these verses, write down your observations and the answers to your questions. Please remember to like, to share, and to subscribe to these videos. We release one every day, and I hope to see you again here tomorrow for another Sabbath School Daily.